Okay, so let's start. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for this exciting webinar, How AI is Transforming the Future of Electronic Design. I'm Ylenia Carola, Head of Business Development at MoveX, and I'm here with my colleague Stefano Flores de Arcais. Hi, Stefano, our field application engineer. Together, we will guide you through how AI is making a real difference in the world of electronic design. And before to dive in, if you have any question, feel free to ask them in the Q&A section here below, and we will answer them in the end. Let's start with a quick introduction of our company. We began as the R&D division of Moose Solution, which is part of the structural health monitoring industry. Over time, we grew into a team of 80 people, including 50 engineers, focused on analog, digital, and layout design. We have currently office in Lucca, Milan, in Italy, and in Pittsburgh, USA. We start out as analog designers, as a team of analog designers working on complex systems. And we quickly realized how difficult it was to design integrated circuits. That is a process slow and really manual. This led us to look for smarter and easier ways to solve the problems. Our mission is to change how integrated circuits are designed by making the process faster and reducing the time to market. As you surely know, the semiconductor industry is very competitive and and every moment counts. With the AI, we help companies avoiding expensive redesign and get their products to the market quicker. We also focus on reusing existing IPs to speed up innovation and make it easier to scale. How do we make all this happen? At MoveX, we are creating, we have created two key solutions that focus on making the design process faster and more efficient. On one side, we provide a traditional design service that bring deep technical expertise to your team, so we can deliver high quality circuit designs. In the other side, we have our EDA tool chain. That is, here is where the AI really shines. Our platform helps to automate and improve the design process and save both time and effort. Now I will hand over to Stefano that will dive in diving in our tradition and innovative solutions. Hey, Stefano.
Hi, Ylenia. Thank you so much
Hey.
for the introduction. And let's go to the more technical insight on our business. So let's start to see the traditional way we make electronic. And as MoveX, we are a design service company. We can provide design in many different technologies, starting from BCD for our product in power management, like in particular switching product like DC-DC converter, buck, boost. But we also have a huge experience in many other IPs. We can design low power IPs, low noise architecture, and we are making a good R&D work on innovative technologies like three-dimensional SPAD for LiDAR. The point is that we are approaching two main target companies as customer. First, we are plenty of companies which are already making electronic but not integrated. They are currently doing discrete devices, PCB design, and we want to help them in going integrated and to make IC design with all the advantages related to IC. This company are in many, many fields of application of electronics. Some of the most important market for microelectronic design, for IC design, are defense, medical, and server. Then we have also a huge focus in automotive. We are designing many products for automotive market, and then clearly industrial and consumer are two big market for electronic design, and in particular for microelectronic design, so for IC products. The other target customer for MoveX are companies which are already making IC. They are big player, let's say major player in semiconductor and integrated design, and we can help them in improving their design, improving their products, in particular in fields related to MEMS, power management, IC, and LiDAR. The point is that in the past year, we have the chance to work with very important player in the market, and we gain the experience to provide custom design for make ASIC more innovative, more efficient, and to provide extremely top-notch design for custom ASIC for many different applications. So all this work is based on analog design. We can provide digital design too, also layout for both analog and digital, but the first focus of MoveX is analog design. And in the majority of the world, the most important software used to make analog design is Cadence Suite. Inside Cadence, you have a suite of software, which is extremely powerful. It can, all the work in analog design can be carried out inside Cadence environment. So to exploit Cadence software is extremely important for an analog designer. The point is that starting from the specification of the block, and after defining the best architecture, the topology you want to design, the practice design of the IP are carried out inside Cadence environment, from the actual sizing and verification of the IP to the layout and post-layout simulation. So all the work of analog designer is, for a good part, taken out inside Cadence environment. So Cadence is essential, but we are facing many issues, many problems in analog design that we want to solve, we want to overcome thanks to AI. AI will solve many of these issues and make analog design faster, easier, and more convenient. So the first issue is related to the software. Cadence is very powerful, but it's also very complicated. It has a complex UI. For a new designer, it's hard to approach with Cadence. And there are, related to analog design, there are not many automation tools. So the point is that for each new cell, for each new IP, if analog, you have to put each single transistor, each single device by hand in the schematic, make each connection, and verify by hand each single IP. The work of analog designer is manual, hard, and not so efficient. We want AI to help us in adding more automation, in making this work more convenient, more efficient, and faster. The other issue related to analog design is related to the experience of the designer. Even for very simple block, like could be an OTA, a standard OTA, a standard amplifier, a junior designer will take a few weeks to make a proper design, while a senior one will take only a couple of days. This time difference is too wide, and we want AI to help junior designer in making their work more fast, more efficient, and to focus on the innovation, on adding new feature to the product, not wasting time in making always the same basic block, OTA, current mirror, all these very important but basic blocks. And then technology. Year by year, the technology is always improving, is scaling to lower sizing node, and that's great because we have new possibilities to enhance the performance of our system, to add new feature to our product, to our design. But this also means that each new project, if we exploit new technologies, we cannot exploit old IPs, already sized IPs for these new projects. So each time you have a new project in a different technology, you will have a different PDK, and you will have to make the export of past IPs in the new PDK and resize each new IP again. So this is a very time-wasting job. It's also not so innovative, not so funny. So we want AI to help us in making PDK changes automatic and fast. These are all the reasons that lead us to develop a software based on AI. We want AI to help analog designer in making their work better and faster. And that's why we developed Spaceman. Spaceman is the software that will completely change the way analog designer will make their work, and it will be a completely new way of making analog design. So let's go back to the workflow of an analog designer. As I said before, each new design starts with the specification. You have the specification for your block, for your IP. Given the specification, the analog designer must choose a topology and architecture to match this parameter. Here, the experience is extremely important. And the choice of the right topology, of the right architecture, is the key for the successful satisfaction of the specification. Exploiting AI, the software, the AI can suggest you which is the best architecture to match your specification. In this way, exploiting AI, you will be sure to choose the best topology to satisfy the specification of your IP in the most efficient and convenient way. Then we have this sizing and simulation step. This is the actual design phase and verification phase, when you, the designer, will take each single device and build up the IP, and then size each single design, each single device, and verify the IP through simulation. Here, there is the most time wasted inside design workflow, because you will size the components, simulate the IP, and see if the specifications are matched. At the first trial, 99% the specifications are not matched. So you have to go back to sizing, resize the schematic, and make the simulation again. And the designer is here like in a loop of sizing and simulation until all the specifications are matched in each single corner, in each single condition. So here we want to change this step, actually to skip this step. Exploiting AI, we can size and verify, guaranteeing the specification asked for the design in a few seconds, maximum a couple of minutes, depending on the complexity of the IP, because the AI can immediately give you an optimized version of your IP. Then, in a handmade design, you have to make layout and then the post-layout simulation. Since the design has been made handmade, you will make some tuning, some changing in the sizing after the layout effect, while exploiting AI, all layout effects, parasitic effects given by the layout design can be taken into account during the schematic sizing step. So exploiting AI, all the workflow of analog designer will be faster, more convenient, more efficient, and extremely focus on the specification matching in a proper way. So how does it work practically, Spaceman? Here we have the technology basic of Spaceman. We take the schematic of your analog IP, of each single analog IP we want to be able to optimize, and we exploit the PDK of your project, the technology you really use in your project. We want to build a model that will describe the behavior of your IP in each single possible combination of components, device, supply, and so on. So we take the schematic and we take the technology. We want to use the PDK you exploit because we want to be sure to really describe the behavior, the real behavior of the IP inside your project. And so we take these two things, schematic and PDK, and we build a model. Starting from this model, we have then the optimization. you can ask Spaceman for some specification for your IP, and the software, as I said, will suggest you the best architecture inside a database of IP for fulfill your specification. Then, thanks to AI, we have a very, very fast optimization that will give you immediately a best solution of sizing for your IP. Then we go back in Cadence all automatically, and we make an automatic verification of the IP inside Cadence to be sure to give you a proper solution, really feasible and really matching the behavior of your IP. And then the output. The output of Spaceman is simply the schematic view with all the device sized in a proper way with its symbol. In this way, you will have immediately an IP ready to be used in your design and with specification guaranteed. So, as you can imagine, the heart of the software is the model, since all the optimization and the sizing is based on the model we built for the IP. So how the model is built? For each IP, we define together with the customer the figure of merit and the specification we want to be able to optimize and size for the IP. And we define the constraint of simulation, the constraint for the project. Then we make a quite huge set of simulation for the IP to derive a data set of solution. In this way, we simulate the IP and its behavior on all the specification you want to optimize. And we exploit this data set to train a neural network. The dataset is based on a set of simulation, but the neural network, after the training, will be able to describe the behavior of the IP in all the other billions of possible combination of dimension, of all transistor, of all components, of supply, bias, and so on. So starting from a set of simulation, you will have an AI model that can immediately know which is the best solution for your schematic. Then we have this model inside the neural network. When you go, you open Spaceman and you want to optimize your IP, you ask for this specification, and in a few seconds, thanks to a genetic algorithm, Spaceman will read out the neural network and give you the best solution possible for your IP in a very, very short time, and will give you the schematic with all the components perfectly sized. So this is Spaceman Basics, and let's see how it's integrated inside Cadence. We have here some screen of the software inside the Cadence environment to see how is the workflow with Spaceman. So first of all, as I said, PDK is extremely important. So the first thing to do in Spaceman is to choose the PDK of your project. We have already do model in many BCD technologies, many CMOS technology, but the point that you choose the PDK you want for your project. Then you choose the IP. Here we have a simple current mirror, for example, but there are many IPs we can model. There is practically no limitation in the number of IP we can model. Current mirror, OTA, amplifier, buffer, but also more complex block. Here is the example of a mirror. You choose the IP, and then on the left, you can see how you can put all the specification you need for your IP to be then optimized by the software. Then you push on Start Design, and you will have the actual optimization of the IP. In a few seconds, you will have an optimized and sized version of your IP. You can see here how the mirror is sized, and on the right, you can see how each single specification you have asked to Spaceman is perfectly matched, and also the specification not asked are optimized in the best way possible. And you can also immediately take the IP, take the symbol, put it in your schematic, and verify it and use it in your project. So here I show you the example of a simple current mirror, but Spaceman is extremely useful also for more complex block. Basic block are extremely important, like all the amplifier or the bias, and mirror and so on, but we want Spaceman to work well also with more complex block like LDOs, bandgap, oscillator, and many other. So we have an approach that is top down for the specification, because we take the top IP, so the more complex system, and we define together with the customer the system specification. So the specification we want to be matched by the top block. Then automatically the software can define the best specification for each sub block to be then optimized. Then Spaceman takes each sub block and optimize in a few seconds the basic block that will build up the system. And at the end, through a system Verilog algorithm, we can rebuild all the sub block to have an optimized version of the top system. Here I have an example of an LDO, which is made up by different blocks like pass transistor, error amplifier, and so on. And we can split up the system in all its sub-block components and optimize automatically in a few seconds each single component. So thanks to Spaceman, when you want to optimize this specific architecture of LDO, Spaceman in a few seconds will optimize for the specification of the system LDO, each single pass transistor, error amplifier, resistor divider, and then automatically build up all the sub-block together and gives you the symbol with the schematic inside and the correct hierarchies of all blocks optimized. And the whole system is then optimized by Spaceman. So as I said at the beginning of the presentation, Cadence is the most common software used in microelectronic design companies around the world. So we want Spaceman to be extremely integrated inside Cadence. You will find Spaceman as a tool inside Cadence. You can open Spaceman inside Cadence, but also the Spaceman algorithm works together with Cadence. Starting from the modeling, each single model is built up by Cadence simulation exploiting Spectre simulator, which is the native simulator inside Cadence environment. And the model is built starting from Cadence schematic and the PDK inside your Cadence environment. Then we have the Spaceman workflow, so global optimization, which is the, let's say, AI core of the software. But then the fine-tuner, again, goes back to Cadence to make sure our results, Spaceman output, is really, really accurate with Cadence model of your device, because we know how important is to be sure each result is really matching the behavior of the IP inside the Cadence, inside your actual software for design. And then, again, the output of Spaceman is really the schematic view, and you can take it exactly in the same way as it was made by hand by your designer and exploit it immediately in your design. So I have here a small resume of the advantages of AI inside electronics and in particular of Spaceman inside design activities. First of all, the fastest convergency time possible. With Spaceman, each time you need to optimize an IP, each time you need to resize an IP, it will only take a few seconds. So remember, a junior designer will take a few weeks, an expert designer will take a couple of days, a designer with Spaceman will take seconds. The transition between different PDK, which is a huge problem in different projects, in many design, is again extremely easy because you have the model in the old PDK for your IP. You just have to make a bunch of simulation in the new PDK, and then again, few seconds, and your IP are ready to be used in the new PDK, in the new technology for your new project. Then, since all design and all verification of specification carried out by Spaceman are made by a software, made by an AI, all the specifications are guaranteed by Spaceman. So you will not have to trust your past colleague, trust other designer. You have to trust a machine. And so you are sure all IP is really working in a proper way. And that is extremely useful because, okay, maybe one colleague has made an optimized version of one IP inside Spaceman. You can be sure to be able to reuse this IP in other projects, having the specification guaranteed. You can be sure you can change the PDK in a very fast way, and year by year, exploiting Spaceman, you will build up a library of IPs, a library of model. In this way, you will have many IPs already optimized, ready to be used, but also a library of model. In this way, each time you have a new ASIC design to be made, you take the model of the IP, you choose the specification you need, and in a few seconds, you have a huge amount of IP already optimized, already sized, ready to be used in your project. So the advantages of Spaceman are really they will change the way we make analog electronic design. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Stefano. Thank you for the presentation. If anyone would like to explore this further, feel free to reach out to info@movex.ai. We have already received some questions, so we will try to address as many as possible now. For those we don't get to, please don't hesitate to email us directly, and we will make sure to respond as soon as possible. So let's see what we have here in the Q&A section. The first one: what if I want to transfer it to another technology?
Yeah, as I was saying, the changing technology, so changing PDK is extremely convenient with Spaceman, because you have your IP. Let's say you have your IP in one technology. For the new project, you have a different technology because the fab as a new technology node is more scaled and more. You have new performance for your devices, so you want the new project to have a new technology. You can simply take the exactly same IP you have in the past PDK and copy the schematic and the test bench in the new PDK. Then you just have to make again the bunch of simulation we need to train the neural network. And it's actually very fast. Once you have made this new bunch of simulation, the neural network is ready again to resize the IP in the new PDK in few seconds. So you have your IP, you make again the model, and after a very short time, you are ready to resize the IP in a few seconds, ready to be used in the new PDK and in the new project.
Great. Thank you, Stefano. Then we have also, what is the advantage of using Spaceman models? And they are also asking, how long does it take to create a Spaceman model?
Yeah, the real advantage of having a Spaceman model is that the model is made a priori of the design, of the optimization. So for your IP, you need to build this model, but then once the model is ready, each time, forever, in your each new project, you need to use this IP with different specification, different parameters. You can optimize the IP, size the IP to match the specification each new time, only in a few seconds. So yes, you have to spend some time building the model, but then after the model is ready, from now on, you have the model and you can resize as many times as you need the IP for each new project in really few seconds, few minutes, depending on the complexity. So how long does it take to create a Spaceman model? It depends, because it depends on the IP. The first time you have to build a new IP, if it's completely custom, it will take a little more, because you have to define all the figure of merit, of all the specification, all the test bench needed for Spaceman. But then after you have started working with Spaceman, you will have a more complete library of IP. you will only have to, let's say, update the library of models inside Spaceman, and each time you need to add a new IP, it will only take like a week or a couple of weeks, depending on the complexity. So it will take a little of time, but then remember, each time you model a new IP, you will have the model forever, ready to be used, ready to be optimized in a really short time.
Great, perfect. Also, we have, I think you already said it during the presentation, but repeating is always good. So they are asking, what is the output of Spaceman?
Yeah, the output of Spaceman is another great advantage, because Spaceman will give you as output simply the schematic view and the symbol of your IP with all the components inside sized and optimized. So you will ask for an example, on an OTA, you will receive the OTA symbol. Inside the symbol, you will receive all the structure of the OTA with all transistor perfectly sized to match your specification. You can take the symbol, you will find it in a Spaceman library inside your library manager in Cadence, and you can use it as in the same exact way as it was made by you by hand as a designer. No difference on that side.
Great. Then I see another question here that is, has the product already been released? Yes. Yes, it's already been used from several customers. And also Ariane is asking, have you considered implementing something similar for FPGA design?
Well, Spaceman is meant to be in particular for analog design, because it's the more, let's say, manual design we have in microelectronic design right now. It's not, I mean, not yet, at least. So we are focusing on analog design because it's the most hard to be approached by automation tool. For digital design, FPGA design, there's already exists some more automation tool. So I would say it's less convenient for Spaceman to be there, but in the future we will surely explore as many solutions as possible, but not yet.
Great. So I will say to reply to the last two questions. The first one is, what do we need to get started? And the second one is available some kind of demo? And what does it allow to do? The demo.
Yeah, so what you need to start with Spaceman, we have seen how since the majority of our customers for Spaceman are big companies in semiconductor market, we discovered how important is clearly privacy and restricted data. All these schematic are extremely important to be safe inside the company's server. So to start with Spaceman, we need first an access, clearly a secure, a safe access to the server of the customer to install the software in a proper way. Spaceman will be delivered as an executable software in your machine. Then we will need the schematic and the technology you want to exploit. In this first step, we are in charge of the modelization of the IP, since we want to be sure to provide you very accurate model. So if you want to start work with Spaceman, you will send us the schematic of your IPs, or at least we will find in your server clearly the schematic of your IPs and the technology in your design area, and we will build up the model for you. Then we will deliver the model file and to the software, which will be already installed in your machine. And from that point on, you will be completely autonomous in exploiting the software, since it will be installed inside your Cadence environment, and that's all. You will be then try Spaceman and see how fast and convenient it is. About the demo, yes, we have a demo, and the demo is on the other side installed on our server. So if you want to try a demo, you have to write us and contact us, and we will open for you an access inside our server, inside our Cadence environment, and you will find a small demo, let's say, because you will find a two-stage amplifier to try Spaceman capabilities in a BCD technology, and you will be able to size and change the specification, all the parameter for this IP every time you want to see all the possible configurations Spaceman can give you to optimize the cell and yes, in this technology. So yeah, we can provide also a demo to try Spaceman before going to your custom IPs.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Stefano. So I would like just to end this session saying that it's been recorded, so you will find them. You will find the registration on our the record on our YouTube channel, and we will also send it through email in the next days. So if you have any further questions, you can type them into our email, and we will reply as soon as possible. So last things to say is thank you to all to everybody that join us today, and thank you to Stefano. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you, and see you on the next webinar.
See you.
Thank you, Ylenia.
Bye.